I said, I'm not gonna work all these problems out. I just wanna make sure that we're okay, like reading them and setting them up, because it's been a while. All right, so you're not gonna have this on paper. We're just kind of working through this. So this says the product of 7 and a number increased by 3. So let's talk about that part. What is that gonna look like? The product of 7 and a number. 7x, okay. Increased by 3. Plus 3 is equal to twice the number. It's going to be 2x subtracted from 39. So how's that going to get written on the other side?
2x.
Subtracted from 39.
Oh, 39 minus 2x.
39 minus 2x. Then you would go on and solve that. Everybody okay there? All right. This one, it says 5 less than twice a number.
2x minus 5.
Okay. Is equal to half the difference of 3 times the number.
3x.
It's equal to 1/2 the difference. So what is difference? Subtraction, okay, of 3 times the number. So what's that going to look like?
3x minus 1/2.
Half the difference of 3 times the number. Oh, sorry, and 13. I didn't finish reading. Sorry about that. So what part is the difference? Where's the subtraction? The difference of 3 times the number and 13. What is that? Forget about the half part. How would I write the difference of 3 times a number and 13? 3x minus 13. Now I want half of that. So now what am I going to do?
Put it over 2.
Yeah, we're either going to put it over 2 or we'll put that in parentheses and put the half out front. Either one of those, either one of these would be okay there. Are you all right with that one? All right, what about this one? One number is 9 more than twice another number. Sorry. So this time I have how many variables? Looks like I have 2.
X plus 9.
Let's see. One number is 9 more. Oh no, that's just an equal sign in there. Okay. One number is 9 more than twice another number. And then if the sum of the numbers is 129, find both numbers. All right, so we know 129 is on the other side. Yes? All right, so I have x. I have my number. One number is 9 more than twice the other. So 2x plus 9. All okay there? All right. First I thought it looked like we had 2 variables. How much we should. Okay. Kara's golf score was 1 less than 3/4 of Greg's golf score. So whose golf score would I need to know? I would need to go Greg. So Greg's gets the X, right? All right. And Kara's golf score was 1 less than 3/4 of his. So 1 less than what? Yeah, 3/4 X, and 1 less than that. And then it says the sum of their scores. So this is her score. His score is what? Because this is Kara's score, right? That's how we write Kara's. Well, what is Greg's score? What are we calling it? His score is X, and we're talking about the sum of that. Then I need to add Greg's score in there because they're talking about the sum. Yes?
Equals 153.
Is equal to 153. So we had to have Greg too. Does that make sense? All right. Number 5 here. The length of a rectangle is 1 more than 4 times its width. So length, width. So which one gets the X? Huh? The width gets the X. So if the width is X, now I can go write length. So what is length? How do I write it? Okay. 4x plus 1. All right, and then it says if the, says, if the perimeter of the rectangle is 62 meters, they want us to find the dimensions. All right, so before I can find the dimensions, I gotta solve for X. So how am I gonna set that up? They're talking perimeter here. This is an algebra 1 problem. So how would I do that? Yeah, I'm gonna have to double them. So what's that gonna look like, Martin? Well, now let's write it as let's write the equation out. So what would that look like? If I'm gonna double it, what am I gonna do? Yeah, I'm basically gonna do this, right? And then this here would be equal to 62. Y'all okay with that? All right. The length of the base of a trapezoid, here's a trapezoid, y'all. That's what it looks like, all right? The length of one base of the trapezoid is 19 less than 5 times the length. Well, clearly this is my length because this is the long one, right? All right, this is my long base. So the length of one base of a trapezoid is 19 less than 5 times the length of the other. So one of them is going to be X, right? The other one is going to be, how am I going to write it? 5 times, what about this?
Minus 19.
Okay, so I got that. Another base. If the trapezoid has a height of 18 feet, and then they gave us the area. So the area of a trapezoid, and I'll give you this if you need it, is base 1 plus base 2 times the height over 2. That's basically, oops, times the height over 2. So this one would be one base, this would be the other one. They gave us the height, and that's how, and then we put the area over here. Y'all all right with that? I'll give you those formulas because I didn't give you the mathematics chart that has that. But y'all would be okay with that one, yes? Okay, the main thing is being able to write this part. The rest of it, the solving part, y'all should be all right with. If you need a formula for a shape, I'll give it to you. All right, the measure of one angle is 6 more than half the measure of another angle. If the angles are complementary, find both measures. What is complementary? It just came out of geometry last year. Did you have complementary? You have supplementary? Complementary is 90. All right, so if they're complementary, the measure of one angle is 6 more than half the measure of another. One of them's got to be X, right? So here's X. How am I writing the other one? Six more than, how am I going to write 6 more than something? Who said it? Somebody up there. Haley, was that you? I need something plus 6, right? Because 6 more than, that's that turnaround. It goes back to the end. So it's 6 more than whatever I had. Now what's the other part of that? 1/2 X. All right, so there's my 2 angles. What am I doing with them? Huh? What am I doing with these 2? They're complementary, so what am I doing with them? This is not complicated. Yes, 90 goes on the other side. You're missing something. What goes here? Like, why is that so hard for y'all to answer a question? Like, y'all have had me before. Y'all know I don't tolerate that. When I ask the question, I expect an answer. Kelly, Laura, and Tia sold boxes of cookies. Because here's the deal. When y'all get to these, I am not helping you write these. Because we just went through all this. Kelly, Laura, and Tia sold boxes of cookies for a fundraiser. Kelly sold 15 boxes less than Laura. Tia sold twice as many boxes as Kelly. If they sold 83 boxes of cookies in total, how many boxes did each girl sell? So I've got Kelly, I've got Laura, and I've got Tia. All right, Kelly depends on who? Laura. Tia depends on Kelly. Who's getting X? Okay, because Laura's who I started with, right? All right, so Laura is X. How am I going to write Kelly?
Minus, or 2x minus.
Kelly sold 15 boxes less than Laura. X minus 15. Just because they wrote the 15 first doesn't mean the 15 comes first. Y'all got to read those words carefully. All right, Tia sold twice as many boxes as Kelly. How am I going to write that? It is not 2x, because that would be 2 times Laura. 2 parentheses X minus 15. Now I've got all my people identified, right? All right, then it says how many did each sell if they sold 83. So what do I do now? Huh? Set what equal to 83? I don't have a problem. I have 3 individual people. I mean, yeah, 83. I got that. Y'all are still missing something. Same problem you had in the last problem. Yes, you got to put the addition in there. Like, yeah, I know that. And I'm hoping y'all know that, but y'all aren't saying it as if you know it, so I'm not sure what you know. So you have to tell me. All right, the measure of the vertex angle in an isosceles triangle. What do you know about an isosceles triangle?
2 sides.
Okay, so here's my isosceles, and these two are my same, right? All right, so the measure of the vertex angle in an isosceles triangle is 6 less than 4 times the measure of the base angle. So who gets X? The base gets X. So there's the base angle, basically, right? All right. So, or actually, that would be this angle here, anyway, because it's opposite the base. So these other two have to be the same, right? Because those 2 sides are the same. All right, so how am I going to write that angle? Say it again. 4x minus 6. All right. So then it says, let's see, the measure of the vertex angle in an isosceles triangle is 6 less than 4 times the measure of the base angle. Find the measure of the vertex angle. All right. So what do I need to do to be able to find? Basically, I need to find x before I can get that vertex angle, because this is going to be this angle here and this one over here. So what do you know about them? Huh? Okay. So how would I set this up? What am I setting equal to 180?
4x minus 6.
4x minus 6 is not equal to 180.
Oh,
2 parentheses.
Say it again.
parentheses.
Okay, I need this. All right. Is that it? Plus x. Okay. Now equals 180. We okay there? All right. The sum of 4 consecutive integers. This is one that always gets everybody. The sum of 4 consecutive integers is 222. They want me to find the integers. I can only use one variable here, okay? So my first integer, so I have first, second, third, fourth integer, okay? My first one is always x, okay? What does consecutive mean? Huh? Huh? In order. So consecutive means one right after the other. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Does that make sense? All right, so my first one is x. Okay, so we're going to pretend x is 1. I don't know what x is, but let's say it's 1. So if x is 1, then my second integer would have to be what? 2, right? How do I get from 1 to 2 mathematically? I would add 1, right? Okay, so then that means my second integer would be my first integer plus 1. Are we in agreement there? So then how would I get from here to here? X plus 2. And then from here to here would be x plus 3. Are we okay with that? All right, then it says the sum of those things is equal to 222. So that means I would have to add all these up. So all of these added equals 222. I'm going to rewrite all that out. Everybody okay with how those work? Because the integer ones are kind of the ones that mess people up. Everybody understand how we got from one to the other? All right, this one here, it says the sum of 3 consecutive. This time it says odd integers. So I'm going to just do this. I'm going to still pretend my first one is 1 because that makes my life easy. Okay? So my first one is x. So if it's odd, my next number isn't 2, my next number would have to be what?
3.
3. So how would I get from 1 to 3? I would have to add 2 that time, right? Okay, and so then to get to the next one, I would have to add what? I would have to add 2 more, 4, because I'm skipping by 2s, right? If I had consecutive, yeah, we do in the next one. All right, so then it says the sum, so I'd add all those up, and that would be 93. Good there? And we would solve it for x. Okay. Then the next one says find 3 consecutive even integers. So 1, 2, 3. So this one, my first one is still x. I just can't pretend it's 1. I got to pretend it's 2, right? All right, so if it's 2, then the next one would have to be what? X plus what? 2. X plus 2, because it's 2 away, which makes this one x plus 4. Everybody okay with that? And then, what does it say there? So this one says the sum of the smallest, which would be this one, the smallest integer, and twice the median. Which one is that? X plus 2. So the sum of the smallest and twice the median. How am I writing that?
2 parentheses, x plus 2.
Okay, so let's go back to the sum of the smallest. So the smallest is what? X plus 2 parentheses. Go ahead, Hugo. X plus 2. So that's the median, right? The sum of the smallest integer and twice the median is, so there's my equal sign, 20 more than the largest. So what gets written first? X plus 4 technically comes first, right? Because that's my largest. 20 more than that means I need to do what? Add 20. Everybody okay with that? All right, so I just wanted, like, I'm not going to do a whole assignment over there. I just wanted to make sure.